Welcome back. I'm Sage, and this is Easy English with Sage.
You know what? I have something incredibly exciting to share with you today. If you've ever felt stuck trying to understand English conversations, or if you've studied grammar for years but still struggle when native speakers talk, then this video is exactly what you've been searching for. Today, we're going to discover how to improve your English listening naturally. The way children learn their first language, without stress, without pressure, just pure, joyful learning. Before we dive in, I want you to do something for me. Take a deep breath. That's right. Breathe in slowly. Now, let out all that worry about making mistakes. Because here's the beautiful truth. Listening to English doesn't have to feel like studying. It can feel like living, like experiencing stories, like connecting with the world around you. And if you haven't subscribed to Easy English with Sage yet, please hit that button now. It tells me you're ready for this journey. And honestly, it makes my heart so happy to have you here with me. Let me start with a simple question. When was the last time you really listened to something in English and understood it without translating in your head? Not just hearing words, but actually feeling what they meant. That moment when everything just clicks. That's what we're building today. Natural listening isn't about understanding every single word. It's about catching the meaning, feeling the emotion, riding the wave of conversation without drowning in grammar rules. Think about this for a moment. A baby doesn't learn to speak by studying textbooks. A baby listens. They listen to their mother's voice, their father's laughter, the rhythm of conversations around the dinner table. They absorb thousands of hours of listening before they ever say their first word. And you know what? That same power lives inside you right now. Your brain is designed to learn language through listening. We just need to wake it up again. Let's start with something real. Imagine you're walking down a busy street. You hear fragments of conversations floating past you. Someone says, "I can't believe it's already Friday." Another voice mentions, "The weather's supposed to clear up tomorrow." A child asks their parent, "Can we get ice cream?" You don't need to understand every syllable to catch the meaning. You feel Friday means the week is ending. Weather clearing means sunshine is coming. This is how we're going to practice together today. Now repeat after me. Say it with me. I'm learning naturally. One more time. I am learning naturally. Beautiful. Feel those words. You're not forcing anything. You're allowing your brain to do what it does best. Absorb language like a sponge soaking up water. Tell me in the comments, which sentence was your favorite so far? I'm curious to know what's resonating with you. Let me share something personal with you. Years ago, when I was learning my second language, I made every mistake in the book. I tried to memorize vocabulary lists. I repeated grammar exercises until my head hurt. And you know what happened? When I finally traveled to a country where people spoke that language, I froze. I couldn't understand anything. The words in real life sounded nothing like my textbook recordings. People spoke fast, they used slang, they laughed and interrupted each other. It was chaos. Beautiful, real, messy chaos. That's when I realized something life-changing. I had been learning to pass tests, not to actually communicate. I had been treating language like a subject in school, not like a living, breathing thing that connects humans. So I changed everything. I started listening to podcasts while cooking. I watched movies without subtitles, letting the emotion and context guide me. I listened to songs and tried to feel what the singer felt, not just what they said. And slowly, like morning light creeping through curtains, understanding came to me naturally. That same transformation is waiting for you right now. Let's practice something together. I'm going to tell you a short story and I want you to just listen. Don't worry about catching every word. Focus on the feeling, the flow, the pictures forming in your mind. Ready? Maria woke up to the sound of rain tapping on her window. She stretched her arms above her head and smiled. Today was going to be different. Today she decided she would finally visit the bookshop on the corner. The one with the red door and the cat sleeping in the window. She had walked past it 100 times, always promising herself, tomorrow, I'll go tomorrow. But not today. Today was the day. Now what did you feel? Did you see the rain? Could you picture that red door? Did you wonder about that sleeping cat? You probably didn't catch every single word I said, and that's perfectly okay. You caught the meaning. You felt Maria's excitement. You understood something was about to change for her. That's natural listening. Say it with me. I understand the feeling. Again, I understand the feeling. Yes, you do. Trust yourself. If you're still with me, type yes in the comments. Let me know you're here, practicing with me, breathing this language into your life. Here's something fascinating that many teachers won't tell you. Your listening ability doesn't improve by trying harder. It improves by relaxing more. I know that sounds backwards, doesn't it? We've been taught that learning requires struggle, effort, concentration until our brains hurt. But natural listening works differently. When you relax, when you stop trying to catch every word like you're chasing butterflies, your brain actually processes language better. It finds patterns. It predicts what comes next. It fills in gaps using context. Let me show you what I mean. I'm going to say a sentence, but I'll leave out one word. Your brain will probably fill it in automatically. Listen, I went to the store to buy some bread and... What word did your brain suggest? Milk? Butter? Eggs? You see, your brain is already doing the work. It's already making connections. We just need to give it more opportunities to practice. Let's try another one together. The sun was shining brightly in the sky? Yes, your mind knew that before I even finished. This is how native speakers understand each other. They don't analyze every word. They ride the wave of meaning, letting their brains do the heavy lifting in the background. Repeat after me. My brain understands naturally. Say it like you mean it. My brain understands naturally. Because it's true. It absolutely is. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily practice. It helps you stay motivated. Every single day, I'm here creating content to support your journey. And you know what? Seeing that subscriber count grow tells me I'm reaching people like you, people who are ready to transform how they learn English. Now, let's talk about the magic ingredient that makes natural listening work. It's something simple, something free, something you probably have right now but haven't been using. It's time. Not studying time, not textbook time, but exposure time. Living with English time. Here's what I mean. Imagine English is like water and you're a plant. If someone throws a bucket of water on you once a week, you might survive, but you won't thrive. But if you're surrounded by a gentle mist of water every single day, if it's in the air you breathe, if it's constantly touching your leaves, that's what we're going for. Little moments of English throughout your day, not cramming sessions that exhaust you. Maybe it's listening to an English podcast while you make breakfast. Maybe it's play English music while you drive to work. Maybe it's watching one episode of a show you love with English audio. These small exposures add up. They accumulate in your subconscious mind, building patterns, creating understanding, developing that natural ear for the language. Let me give you a practical example. Right now, as you're watching this video, you're doing exactly that. You're exposing yourself to natural, flowing English. You're not translating every word I say. You're not stopping to look up vocabulary. You're just listening, absorbing, understanding. And with every minute that passes, your brain is getting stronger at this. Neural pathways are forming. Connections are being made. You're literally changing this. Try it one more time with me. I am absorbing English naturally. Feel those words. I am absorbing English naturally. You're not fighting, you're flowing. All right. Quick break. Did you subscribe yet? I'm watching you. Just kidding, but seriously, if this content is helping you, that little subscribe button helps me know I'm on the right track. It's how I can keep creating these videos for you day after day, showing up to support your English journey. Let me share something with you that changed everything for me when I was learning. I discovered that context is more powerful than vocabulary. What does that mean? It means that knowing the situation is often more important than knowing the exact definition of a word. Let me prove it to you. Imagine you're in a restaurant and someone says, "Could you pass the salt?" Even if you don't know the word pass perfectly, the situation tells you everything. Someone is reaching out their hand. There's salt on the table. To them, oh, you understand. Context did the work for you. Or picture this. You're watching a movie and one character says to another, "I'm sorry, I didn't mean to hurt you." The character saying it looks sad. Maybe there are tears in their eyes. The other character looks away, arms crossed. Even without perfect English, you understand exactly what's happening. Someone made a mistake. Someone is asking for forgiveness. Someone is still angry. The situation, the body language, the emotion in the voice, all of this is giving you information. This is why watching movies and shows in English is so powerful for natural listening. You get context. You get visual clues. You get emotional tones. You get so much more than just words on a page. Say it with me. Context helps me understand. Once more, context helps me understand. And it's true. Context is your secret weapon. Now I want to tell you about something called comprehensible input. Don't worry, it's not as complicated as it sounds. It just means listening to English that's slightly above your current level. Not so hard that you're lost, but not so easy that you're bored. Think of it like lifting weights at the gym. If the weight is too light, you don't build muscle. If it's too heavy, you might hurt yourself. But if it's just right, challenging but manageable, that's where growth happens. That's what we're doing right now, together. I'm speaking to you in real English, natural English, the kind you'll hear in actual conversations. I'm not simplifying every single word or speaking like a robot, but I'm also being clear, using rhythm and pauses to help you follow along. This is your comprehensible input workout for today. And just like physical exercise, the more you do it, the stronger you become. Let's practice a real conversation together. I'll give you both sides, and I want you to imagine you're really there. Picture the scene in your mind. Two friends meet on the street. One says, "Hey, Sarah, I haven't seen you in forever. How have you been?" Sarah smiles and replies, "I've been good. Just really busy with work lately. How about you?" The first friend nods. "Same here. We should grab coffee sometime and catch up properly." Sarah agrees. Tell me in the comments, have you ever had a conversation like this? Where did it happen? I'd love to hear your story. Here's a powerful truth I need you to understand. Making mistakes in listening is actually a sign that you're learning. Let me say that again because it's so important. When you mishear something, when you think someone said one word but they actually said another, when you need to ask, "Sorry, could you repeat that?" These aren't failures. These are data points. Your brain is collecting information, figuring out patterns, learning what to listen for next time. I remember once I was listening to someone speak, and I was absolutely convinced they said, "I bought a new house." I was so excited for them. Then later in the conversation, I realized they actually said, "I bought a new mouse," as in a computer mouse. Was I embarrassed? Maybe for a second. But you know what? So, my brain learned something that day. It learned to pay closer attention to context, to the words surrounding the key information. And I never made that mistake again. Your mistakes are your teachers. Every time you misunderstand something, then figure out what was actually said, you're training your ear. You're becoming more skilled. You're growing. Say it with me and really feel this one. My mistakes help me learn. Again, my mistakes help me learn. They truly do. Be grateful for them. I want to pause here and ask you something. How are you feeling right now? Are you starting to relax into this? Are you noticing that you're understanding me without struggling? That's exactly what I hoped would happen. You've been listening to me for quite a while now, and you haven't needed to translate. You haven't needed to stop and study. You're just here with me, in this moment, understanding naturally. That feeling right there, hold on to it. Remember it, because that's the feeling you want to recreate every time you practice listening. Not stress, not confusion, just gentle, natural comprehension. Let's talk about rhythm and melody for a moment, because English isn't just about words, it's about music. Every language has its own rhythm, its own melody, its own way of rising and falling, like a song. When you tune into this rhythm, listening becomes so much easier. Listen to how I'm speaking right now. Notice how some words get more emphasis than others. Notice how my voice rises at certain points and falls at others. Notice how there are little pauses, little breaths, giving you time to process what I just said before moving on to the next thought. This isn't random. This is the rhythm of English. And when you start feeling this rhythm in your body, not just hearing it with your ears, that's when listening becomes effortless. Try this exercise with me. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to tap your hand gently on your leg with the rhythm of my words. Don't think about it too much. Just feel it. Ready? I really love listening to music in the morning. Did you feel it? I really love listening to music in the morning. There's a beat there, a pulse. That's the heartbeat of English. One more time, tap along. The weather today is absolutely beautiful. The weather today is absolutely beautiful. Feel that rhythm. Your body is learning English now, not just your mind. If you're enjoying this practice, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. These rhythms, these patterns, we explore them together every single day. I'm here for you, creating content that actually works, that actually feels good, that actually changes how you experience English. Now let's talk about something really exciting: the power of stories. Human brains are wired for stories. For thousands of years before we had writing, before we had schools, we passed down knowledge through stories. We sat around fires and listened to tales of heroes and adventures and lessons learned. And our brains haven't changed. We still learn best through narrative. That's why watching movies helps your listening more than studying grammar charts. That's why listening to someone tell you about their day is more valuable than memorizing a list of verbs. Stories give context. Stories create emotion. Stories make language memorable. So I'm going to tell you a story now, and I want you to just relax and listen. Let the story wash over you. See the images in your mind. Feel what the characters feel. Don't worry about catching every detail. Just experience it. There was a young man named Thomas who loved to walk by the ocean every evening. He would take off his shoes, roll up his pants, and let the cold water rush over his feet. One evening, as the sun was setting and painting the sky orange and pink, he noticed something glittering in the wet sand. He bent down and picked it up. It was a small glass bottle, no bigger than his thumb, with a tiny piece of paper inside. Thomas carefully pulled out the cork and unrolled the paper. On it, in delicate handwriting, were just 3 words. Please keep dreaming. No name, no explanation. Just those 3 words. Dot. Thomas looked around, but the beach was empty except for a few seagulls. He slipped the note into his pocket and continued his walk, but something felt different. That simple message from a stranger he would never meet reminded him of the dreams he had forgotten, the book he wanted to write, the language he wanted to learn, the person he wanted to become. From that day on, whenever Thomas felt discouraged or tired or ready to give up, he would touch his pocket where he kept that note. Please keep dreaming. And he did. He kept dreaming, and slowly, one small step at a time, those dreams started coming true. What did you feel during that story? Could you see Thomas on the beach? Did you feel the cold water on your feet? Did that message touch something in your heart? You understood that story, certainly. Didn't you? Even if there were 1 or 2 words you weren't completely sure about, you got it. The meaning came through. That's natural listening. Say this with me. Stories help me understand. Again, with feeling. Stories help me understand. They're magic that way, aren't they? Tell me in the comments, what's a dream you're still holding on to? I believe in you. I believe you can achieve it. Just like Thomas. Just like every person who ever accomplished something they once thought was impossible. Let's shift gears for a moment and talk about something practical. Different accents. English is spoken all over the world, and it sounds different depending on where you are. American English sounds different from British English. Australian English has its own flavor. Indian English, South African English, Scottish English, they all have unique characteristics. Amen. When you're improving your listening naturally, exposure to different accents is incredibly valuable. It trains your brain to be flexible, to pick up on meaning, even when the pronunciation isn't what you're used to. Think of it like this. If you only ever eat one type of food, trying something new might be shocking. But if you regularly experience different flavors, your palate becomes more sophisticated, more adaptable. The same is true with listening. The more varieties of English you hear, the better you become at understanding all of them. So don't limit yourself to just one accent. Watch movies from different countries. Listen to podcasts hosted by people from various backgrounds. Let your ears become citizens of the world. I'll speak the same sentence in slightly different styles, and I want you to notice how the meaning stays the same, even though the sound changes a bit. Listen, American style. I'm going to the store to grab some groceries. British style. I'm going to the shop to pick up some shopping. Australian style. I'm heading to the shops to get some groceries. Same basic meaning, different words, different rhythms. But you understood all three, didn't you? Your brain is amazing at finding patterns and extracting meaning. Trust it. Repeat after me. I can understand different accents. Once more. I can understand different accents. You absolutely can. Don't let the variety intimidate you. Let it excite you. All right. Quick break. Have you subscribed to Easy English with Sage yet? I want to make sure you're part of our community. We're building something special here. A place where learning English doesn't feel like studying, where it feels like growing, like becoming a bigger version of yourself. Hit that subscribe button so you don't miss a single video. Now, let's talk about active listening versus passive listening. Both have their place in your learning journey. Passive listening is what happens when you play English in the background while you're doing something else, like cooking or cleaning or exercising. You're not focusing intently, but your brain is still absorbing patterns, getting used to the sounds, building familiarity. Active listening is what we're doing right now. You're focused. You're engaged. You're really trying to understand. This is where the deeper learning happens, where you make conscious connections, where you practice comprehension. Both types are valuable. Passive listening gives you volume, lots and lots of exposure. Active listening gives you depth, real understanding and skill building. The secret is to use both. Let English become the soundtrack to your life through passive listening, and then carve out special time, like right now with me. For active listening practice, think about your typical day for a moment. Where could you add some passive English listening? Maybe while you're getting ready in the morning, you could play an English podcast. Maybe while you're commuting, you could listen to English music or audiobooks. Maybe while you're cooking dinner, you could have an English YouTube video playing in the background. These little additions to your routine cost you nothing. No extra time, no extra effort. But they give you hours and hours of exposure every single week. That adds up fast. That changes your brain. That makes natural listening become truly natural. Say it with me. English is part of my daily life. Again, English is part of my daily life. Make it true. Make it your reality. I want to share something with you that might surprise you. One of the best ways to improve your listening is actually to improve your speaking. I know that sounds strange, but hear me out. When you practice speaking English, even just repeating sentences or reading out loud, you're training your mouth muscles to make English sounds. And when your mouth knows how to make those sounds, your ears become better at recognizing them. It's like when you learn to play a musical instrument. Once you know how to create certain notes, you start hearing those notes everywhere in music. The same thing happens with language. When you actively practice making English sounds with your own voice, your brain creates stronger connections between hearing and producing language. So don't just listen passively. Talk back to me. When I say repeat after me, actually do it out loud. Even if you're alone in your room, even if you feel silly, use your voice. Your speaking practice is actually listening practice in disguise. Let me give you something to practice right now. I'm going to say a sentence, and I want you to repeat it with the same rhythm, the same emotion. Ready? I believe in my ability to learn. Your turn. Say it like you mean it. I believe in my ability to learn. One more. Every day I'm getting better at understanding English. Now you try. Every day I'm getting better at understanding English. Beautiful. Did you hear yourself? That's your English voice. It's growing stronger with every practice session. Tell me in the comments, did you actually speak those sentences out loud? Be honest. If you did, I'm so proud of you. If you didn't, I want you to go back and try. Your voice matters. Your practice matters. Let's talk about something that trips up a lot of learners: connected speech. In casual, natural conversation, native speakers don't pronounce every single word separately like robots. Words flow together. Sounds blend. Some syllables get swallowed or shortened. For example, I might say, I'm going to go to the store. But in natural speech, it sounds more like, I'm gonna go to the store. Or even, I'm gonna go ta the store. The words connect, they blur together. And at first, 5. This can be really confusing for learners. It sounds like people are speaking so fast, or mumbling, or leaving out words. But here's the secret. Once you understand that this is normal, once you start expecting words to connect, it becomes much easier to follow. You stop trying to hear each individual word perfectly, and you start listening for the flow, the meaning, the overall message. Dot, dot. Let me show you what I mean. I'll say a sentence very carefully, with each word separated, and then I'll say it naturally, the way I would in real conversation. Listen to the difference. Careful version. What are you going to do this evening? Natural version. What are you going to do this evening? Hear the difference? In the natural version, what are you becomes what'ya, and going to becomes gonna. Same meaning, totally different sound. This is why listening to real conversations, real movies, real podcasts is so important. You need to hear how English actually sounds in real life, not just how it looks written in a textbook. Try it with me. I'll say it naturally, and you repeat. What are you gonna do this evening? Dot, dot, dot. Your turn. Don't worry about being perfect. Just try to capture that flow. What are you gonna do this evening? Excellent. You're starting to sound more natural already. Keep practicing this. The more you hear connected speech, the more you use it yourself, the easier listening becomes. Say this important reminder with me. Natural speech is music, not robots. Once more, natural speech is music, not robots. Let yourself flow with it. Now I want to talk to you about something close to my heart, the emotional side of learning. Learning a language, really getting good at listening and understanding, it's not just a mental exercise. It's an emotional journey. There will be days when you feel like a genius, understanding everything, flying high. And there will be days when you feel like you've forgotten everything, when nothing makes sense, when you want to quit. Both of these feelings are completely normal. They're part of the process. Language learning isn't a straight line from bad to good. It's more like a spiral staircase. You keep coming back to the same challenges, but each time you're at a higher level, seeing them from a new perspective, handling them with more skill. On those hard days, when listening feels impossible, when everyone seems to be speaking too fast, when you're tired and frustrated, I want you to remember something. You're not failing. You're growing. Your brain is processing enormous amounts of information, creating new neural pathways, literally changing its structure to accommodate a new language. That's exhausting work. Be patient with yourself. Be kind to yourself. Say this to yourself really gently, like you're talking to a dear friend. I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Again, I'm doing my best, and that's enough. Because it truly is. If this message is resonating with you, type yes in the comments. Let me know you're here, that you're trying, that you're on this journey with me. We're in this together. Let me tell you about a concept that revolutionized my language learning. Comprehension before production. This means you should focus on understanding English, on building your listening skills before you worry too much about speaking perfectly. Think about babies again. They listen for about a year before they even start trying to speak. They build this massive foundation of comprehension first. Many adult learners try to do it backwards. They want to speak immediately, and they get frustrated when they can't express themselves perfectly. But if you haven't built that listening foundation, speaking will always feel forced and difficult. So give yourself permission to focus on listening for a while. Spend time, watch movies. Let your brain soak it all up. And then when you do start speaking more, it will flow more naturally because you've built that deep well of comprehension to draw from. This is why what we're doing right now is so valuable. You're filling your comprehension tank. You're building your foundation. And every minute you spend truly understanding English, not just hearing it, but really getting it, is making you stronger for future speaking practice. Repeat this truth. Understanding comes before speaking. Again, understanding comes before speaking. Trust the process. Let's do something fun now. I'm going to describe a scene, and I want you to close your eyes if you can, and really see it in your imagination. Use all your senses. Make it real in your mind. This is active listening practice, where you create mental images from the words you hear. Ready? Close your eyes or just relax and visualize. You're sitting on a wooden bench in a park. The bench is slightly warm from the afternoon sun. In front of you, there's a small pond with ducks gliding across the water. You can hear them quacking softly to each other. To your left, children are playing on a playground, their laughter floating through the air like bubbles. You can smell freshly cut grass, and someone nearby is eating popcorn. That buttery, salty smell making your mouth water. A gentle breeze touches your face, carrying the scent of flowers from the garden behind you. You take a deep breath and feel completely peaceful, completely present, completely content. Open your eyes. What did you see? Could you smell the grass, hear the children, feel the breeze? You created that entire experience from my words. That's the power of natural listening. You didn't translate. You didn't analyze grammar. You just understood and experienced. That's what we're building together. That automatic, say it proudly, I can see with my ears. One more time. I can see with my ears. Because you can. You're proving it right now. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel for daily practice. Every video I create is designed to give you this kind of rich, natural listening experience. You're not just learning English, you're living it. Now let's talk about something practical. How to use movies and TV shows to improve your listening. This is one of my favorite techniques because it's fun. It doesn't feel like studying, and it's incredibly effective. Here's my strategy. First, choose something you're interested in. Don't pick something just because people say it's good for learning. Pick something you actually want to watch, something that excites you. Maybe it's a comedy that makes you laugh. Maybe it's a drama that makes you feel deeply. Maybe it's a documentary about something you're passionate about. Interest is the key. When you care about what you're watching, and your brain pays closer attention automatically. Second, watch without subtitles if you can, or use English subtitles if you really need them. Try to avoid subtitles in your native language. They create a crutch, and you end up reading instead of listening. Challenge yourself to understand from the audio and the visual context. Third, don't worry about understanding absolutely everything. Aim for understanding the general story, the emotions, the main events. If you catch maybe 60 to 70%, that's fantastic. That's comprehensible input. That's your brain working in the growth zone. Fourth, watch the same movie or episode multiple times. The first time, you're getting the story. The second time, you'll notice more details. The third time, you'll catch little phrases and expressions you missed before. Repetition is powerful. And finally, have fun. If you're not enjoying it, if it feels like torture, choose something different. Learning should feel good. It should feel done. Like an adventure, not a chore. Try saying this with me. Movies help me learn naturally. Again, movies help me learn naturally. They're wonderful teachers. Tell me in the comments, what's your favorite English movie or TV show? Maybe other learners will discover something new from your recommendation. I want to talk to you now about something that might be holding you back. Perfectionism. Many language learners have this belief that they need to understand every single word, catch every detail, never miss anything. But that's not how communication works, even for native speakers. When I'm talking with my friends, I don't catch every single word they say. Sometimes there's background noise. Sometimes they mumble. Sometimes they use a word I'm not familiar with. But I understand the meaning from context. I follow the conversation. I'm not stressed about the one or two words I might have missed. You need to give yourself this same freedom. Natural listening isn't about perfection. It's about understanding enough to follow along, to get the main point, to stay connected to the conversation or story. If you understand 70 to 80%, you're doing amazing. That's actually native level listening in many situations. Stop beating yourself up for what you miss. Start celebrating what you catch. Shift your focus from what you don't know to what you do know. Every sentence you understand is a victory. Every seam you follow is progress. Every moment of comprehension is proof that you're getting better. Say this to yourself with compassion. I don't need to be perfect. Again, really feel it. I don't need to be perfect. You don't. You just need to keep showing up, keep practicing, keep listening. Every single day you practice, even if it feels like you're not improving, you're building the foundation for that next breakthrough moment. Say this promise to yourself. I will keep going. Again, make it a commitment. I will keep going because you will. You've come this far. Don't stop now. If this video is helping you, please don't forget to subscribe. Every subscriber tells me that what I'm doing matters, that I'm making a difference in someone's learning journey. And honestly, that's what keeps me motivated too. We're helping each other. Now let's talk about something really exciting. The moment when English stops feeling like a foreign language and starts feeling like just language. This is what happens when you practice natural listening consistently. One day, you'll realize you've been watching a video or listening to a conversation, and you weren't translating. You weren't thinking about grammar. You weren't working hard to understand. You were just understanding, naturally, effortlessly, like magic. That moment is incredible. It's like suddenly the fog lifts and you can see clearly. English isn't this mysterious code anymore. It's just communication. It's just meaning flowing from one person to another, and you're part of that flow. I remember my moment. I was watching a movie, completely absorbed in the story, laughing at a joke, and then I suddenly realized I'm not thinking about the language at all. I'm just experiencing the story. That's the goal we're working toward together, and you're closer to it than you realize. Every time you understand a sentence without translating, you're there. Every time you catch the meaning from context, you're there. Every time you feel what someone is saying, instead of just hearing the words, you're there. These little moments are adding up. They're creating that. Say this with excitement. I'm becoming a natural listener. Feel the truth of it. I'm becoming a natural listener. You are right now. In this very moment, let me give you a practical listening challenge for this week. I want you to find one thing in English that you'll listen to every single day for 7 days. It could be a podcast. It could be a YouTube channel like this one. It could be an audiobook. It could even be the same movie watched multiple times. The key is consistency and repetition. Why repetition? Because when you hear the same content multiple times, your brain gets better at processing it. The first time, you might catch 60%. The second time, maybe 70%. The third time, 80%. You're training your ears, building your listening muscles, creating automaticity. And here's the beautiful part. What you learn from that one piece of content will transfer to everything else you listen to. The vocabulary you pick up, the phrases you understand, other things too. So commit to this. 7 days, one thing, daily listening. You can do this. I believe in you. Tell me in the comments what you're going to choose for your 7-day challenge. Share it with us. When you make your commitment public, you're more likely to follow through. And I want to see you succeed. Now, let's talk about something that might surprise you. Silence. Yes, silence is part of natural listening too. When people speak naturally, they pause. They take breaths. They leave space between ideas. These silences aren't empty. They're full of meaning. A pause can mean someone is thinking. It can create suspense before important information. It can give you time to process what was just said. It can show emotion, hesitation, uncertainty, or excitement. Learning to understand these silent moments is part of becoming a skilled listener. When I'm speaking to you right now, notice when I pause. Those pauses aren't random. They're giving you time to absorb what I just said before I move on to the next idea. They're creating rhythm. They're making the listening experience more natural and less overwhelming. Try to bring this awareness to your own listening practice. Don't rush to fill every silence with translation or overthinking. Let the silence be part of the experience. Let it give you space to feel, to understand, to breathe. Say this mindfully. Silence is part of language. Again, silence is part of language. It truly is. I want to share something vulnerable with you. There are still times when I don't understand everything I hear in my second language. Maybe the accent is unfamiliar, or someone uses slang I haven't heard before, or they reference something cultural I don't know about. And you know what? That's okay. That's part of being human. That's part of communication. The difference is that now, when I don't understand something, I don't panic. I don't feel like a failure. I stay calm. I use context. I ask for clarification if I need to. Or sometimes I just let it go because understanding the overall message is enough. This is the mindset I want you to develop. Confidence in your ability to understand, combined with peace about what you don't catch. You're not trying to be perfect. You're trying to be functional, effective, able to connect with others through English. When you have this mindset, listening becomes so much less stressful. It becomes enjoyable. It becomes an adventure instead of a test. Repeat this mantra. I am confident in my listening. One more time with strength. I am confident in my listening. Because you should be. You're doing great. All right, quick break here. Have you subscribed yet? Are you part of the Easy English with Sage community? If not, what are you waiting for? We're creating something special here, and I want you to be part of it. Let me tell you about something called extensive listening versus intensive listening. Intensive listening is what we often do in language classes. You listen to a short recording, maybe 2 or 3 minutes, and you analyze every single word. You answer comprehension questions. You focus on details. This has its place, but it's not enough. Extensive listening is what we're doing right now. You're listening to me for a long period of time, not stopping to analyze every word, just following the flow, understanding the general meaning, experiencing the language. This is how you build real-world listening skills. Think about it. In real life, conversations don't last 2 minutes. Movies aren't 3 minutes long. If you want to be able to function in English, you need stamina. You need to be able to listen for extended periods without getting exhausted or losing focus. Dot, dot. That's what extensive listening builds. It's like the difference between sprinting and running a marathon. Both are valuable, but they train different abilities. You need both, but if you only ever sprint, you'll never develop the endurance to go long distances. So, embrace long-form listening. Watch full movies. Listen to entire podcast episodes. Stick with me through this whole video. Build your listening stamina along with your listening comprehension. Say this commitment. I can listen for a long time. Again, I can listen for a long time. Prove it to yourself by finishing this video. Now, I want to talk about something that makes many learners nervous: fast speech. You might feel like native speakers talk impossibly fast, like words are just flying by and you can't catch them. But here's a secret. The problem usually isn't speed, it's familiarity. When you're not familiar with words and phrases, even slow speech feels fast because your brain has to work hard to process everything. But when you're familiar with the language, when you've heard certain phrases hundreds of times, your brain can process them quickly. So fast speech actually feels slower. It's like driving on a road you know really well versus a road you've never been on before. On the familiar road, you can drive faster because you know what's coming. You know where the turns are. You know what to expect. On an unfamiliar road, even slow driving feels overwhelming because you're processing so much new information. The solution isn't to avoid fast speech. It's to increase your familiarity with English through lots and lots of listening practice. The more you hear, the more familiar things become. And as familiarity increases, perceived speed decreases. Lulu. So don't be discouraged if you can't understand fast speech yet. You're just building familiarity. Keep listening, keep practicing. Speed will take care of itself. Try saying, I'm building familiarity every day. Once more, I'm building familiarity every day. And it's absolutely true. Let me give you a beautiful image to hold on to. Imagine language learning as planting a garden. When you first plant seeds, nothing seems to be happening. You water them every day, and the ground looks the same. No flowers, no vegetables, just dirt. It would be easy to think nothing is working, to give up, to assume the seeds are dead. And then one morning you walk outside and there's a tiny green shoot pushing through the dirt. And then another, and another. Soon your garden is blooming with life and color and abundance, all because you kept watering those seeds, even when you couldn't see the results. Your listening practice is the same. Every single day you listen, even when you don't feel like you're improving, you're watering those seeds. You're feeding those roots. Growth is happening underground. And one day, tell me in the comments, have you ever had a breakthrough moment in your English learning? What did it feel like? I'd love to hear your story. And for those still waiting for that moment, tell me, what are you working toward? What will success look like for you? Now, let's talk about something really practical. How to handle situations where you need to understand English, but you're nervous or stressed. Maybe it's a job interview, a doctor's appointment, an important phone call. The stakes feel high, and suddenly your listening skills seem to vanish. So the key is learning to stay calm, even in high-pressure situations. How? Through breathing, through positive self-talk, through practice and preparation, and through remembering that even if you don't understand everything, you can ask for clarification. You can say, "I'm sorry, could you speak more slowly?" Or, "Could you repeat that, please?" These are normal, acceptable things to say. Native speakers ask for clarification all the time. It doesn't mean you're bad at English. It means you're a good communicator who wants to make sure you understand correctly. Practice saying these phrases right now. Could you please repeat that? Say it. Could you please repeat that? And, I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Try it. I'm sorry, I didn't catch that. Could you say it again? Having these phrases ready takes the pressure off. You know you have a backup plan if you don't understand something. That knowledge alone helps you stay calmer and actually understand better. Say this reassurance: it's okay to ask for help. Again, it's okay to ask for help. It really truly is. Let me tell you about the power of visualization. Athletes use this technique all the time. They visualize themselves performing perfectly before the actual competition, and research shows it actually improves their performance. The brain doesn't distinguish much between vivid visualization and actual experience. You can use this for listening too. Take a few minutes today and visualize yourself in a situation where you're understanding English perfectly. Maybe you're watching a movie and laughing at all the jokes. Maybe you're having a conversation with a friend and understanding every word they say. Maybe you're listening to a podcast and nodding along, completely engaged. See it in your mind. Feel the confidence. Feel the ease. Feel the joy of understanding. Your brain is actually creating neural pathways just from this visualization. You're training yourself to succeed. Try it right now. Close your eyes for just a moment and see yourself understanding English naturally, easily, joyfully. Hold that image. Feel that feeling. When you open your eyes, say this: "This is my future." Again, "This is my future." Make it real through practice and belief. I want to talk about something that doesn't get discussed enough: the emotional content of what you're listening to. When you listen to something that makes you feel emotions, whether it's laughter, sadness, excitement, or curiosity, you actually understand it better and remember it longer. This is because emotions and memory are deeply connected in the brain. When something makes you feel something, it gets encoded more strongly in your memory. That's why of a movie that made you cry more easily than the content of a boring textbook you studied. So choose listening materials that make you feel something. If you love comedy, watch comedians. If you love touching stories, listen to storytelling podcasts. If you love getting fired up about ideas, watch TED Talks. Don't force yourself to listen to things just because they're good for learning if they bore you to tears. Learning should engage your heart, not just your head. When your emotions are involved, your brain pays closer attention automatically. You're not forcing yourself to concentrate. You're naturally absorbed. What makes you feel something? What touches your heart? That's what you should be listening to in English. Say this permission: I can learn through joy. Once more, I can learn through joy. You absolutely can, and you should. Now, we're getting close to the end of our time together today. But before we finish, I want to leave you with some final thoughts and encouragement. You've been with me for so long now, listening, practicing, absorbing. That in itself is a huge accomplishment. Your listening stamina has already grown just by staying with me through this video. I want you to recognize that. I want you to celebrate that. You did something today that's building your English skills in a real, tangible way. You chose to invest this time in yourself, in your growth, in your future. That's beautiful. That's powerful. That matters. Learning to listen naturally in English isn't about following one specific method or studying harder or being smarter. It's about exposure. It's about consistency. It's about patience with yourself. It's about trusting the process, even when you can't see the results yet. Every single time you listen to English, you're changing your brain. You're creating new connections. You're strengthening existing pathways. You're becoming more and more capable of understanding naturally, without effort, without translation. This transformation doesn't happen overnight, but it does happen. I've seen it in countless students. I've experienced it myself, and it's happening in you right now. even if you can't feel it yet. Say this truth: I am transforming. One final time, with conviction. I am transforming. You are. Every day, every practice session, every moment of listening. Remember, even 5 minutes a day can change your English forever. You don't need to spend hours studying. You just need to show up consistently. 5 minutes today, 5 minutes practice. Tomorrow, 5 minutes the day after that. Those minutes add up. They compound. They create massive change over time. So make a commitment right now. How will you practice listening this week? Will you watch one episode of a show every day? Will you listen to a podcast on your commute? Will you come back to this channel tomorrow for another practice session? Whatever you choose, commit to it. Write it down. Tell someone about it. Make it real. And remember, I'm here with you. Every video I create is designed to support your journey, to give you natural, enjoyable listening practice, to help you build this skill without stress or pressure. Subscribe to Easy English with Sage so you never miss a practice opportunity. I'm creating new content all the time, and I want you to be part of this community. We're not just learning English here. We're building confidence. We're opening doors to new opportunities. We're connecting with the world. We're becoming the people we've always wanted to be. You have everything you need already inside you. The ability to learn, the ability to grow, the ability to understand English naturally. My job is just to guide you, to remind you of your own power, to give you opportunities to practice. Your job is to show up, to listen, to be patient with yourself, to keep going even when it's hard. And you're doing that right now. In this moment, you're doing that. I'm so proud of you. I'm so excited for your journey. I can't wait to hear about your breakthrough moments, your success stories, your moments of pure understanding where English just clicks and flows and makes sense. You're going to get there. You're already on your way. So thank you for being here with me today. Thank you for trusting me with your learning journey. Thank you for investing this time in yourself. Keep listening, keep practicing, keep believing in yourself. Your English listening skills are growing naturally, beautifully, powerfully with every single day. Until tomorrow, until the next video, until we meet again, keep dreaming, keep growing, and keep shining. You've got this. This is Sage signing off from Easy English with Sage. Don't forget to like this video if it helped you. Subscribe to our channel for daily practice, and leave a comment telling me about your listening goals. I read every single one, and your words inspire me to keep creating content for you. See you in the next video. Until then, surround yourself with English. Listen with your heart and trust the process. You're becoming a natural English listener, one word at a time, one sentence at a time. One beautiful moment of understanding at a time. Goodbye for now, and happy listening.